Yo! Yes, everybody, we are back for some more Jujutsu Kaisen content, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while, but we back. We back, oh yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the first 3 chapter reviews of Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. Now, as someone that has been a long-term fan of Jujutsu Kaisen, I find out that the anime was a thing. When I watched the first couple episodes, I was like, oh, okay, this is fire. Finished the first season, then went blasted through the manga. I said, okay, I'm hooked, I'm in it, right? And obviously, I've been in the game a long time. Y'all know, I've been doing this for a little bit. So when I was sad when Jujutsu Kaisen was announced to be, we had this all of a sudden, hey, there's 5 chapters left of JJK, and I was sad. I was like, no, what's going on, gang, you can't do this to me. Ending came, it was controversial, people hated it, some people liked it. A lot of more people like it now than they did when they first came out, but I told you that was gonna happen. I told y'all that was gonna happen, but nobody listens to me. But anyway, this came just all of a sudden, and everybody has been posted and waiting to see what Gege's next work would be. Now, a lot of people did not think that this was gonna be a continuation of Jujutsu Kaisen. People thought it was gonna be just its own separate thing, but no, this is a sequel manga to Jujutsu Kaisen, akin to Boruto, but with one distinct thing. Most of the cast are dead and old at this point. The main cast from before is not around for the most part. Some that we've seen so far. Again, it's 3 chapters in. I have no doubt that we'll see some characters here and there, but we'll get there. But I just wanted to preface this. I am very, 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 very excited to see what Gege Akutami has been cooking up. I'm curious to see how his pen game has evolved. We have someone else doing the art for this. I must confess, I do miss Gege's art. I love Gege's art. I love it. It's raw. It's the way that he uses speed lines and the amount of grit that you feel on the page. His fights feel so textured, right? I'm sure there's some artists that watch me that kind of know what I'm talking about. They feel so fluid, but they feel grimy, right? I love it. I love it. Chainsaw Man is something very similar as well, but we'll see. But before we get too deep into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. We are our way to 20,000 subscribers, and eventually I want to have more subscribers than Alliance. It's probably not going to happen, but I want to. And you can help me do that. Subscribe. You want to subscribe. Ooh. So the story is set in 2086, 68 years after Ryomen Sukuna's defeat. An alien race, the Simurians, arrive on Earth aboard this huge mothership with over 50,000 individuals. And their arrival prompts diplomatic and sorcery-related responses. That's what we open up with the first page, is we have 2 of these Sumerians discussing what's just going on with Earth. Now, I'm already against all some theories. I think that these guys were waiting for Sukuna to die. Listen. I don't know how far away their planet is. I'm pretty sure these guys were waiting for Sukuna to die, because they even explicitly say that Sukuna is on par with an alien invasion. They say that Sukuna is on par with, we already starting with Sukuna Glaze, Lord Jesus. Yeah, we might be back. We actually back. Dude, to say that one person is akin to 50,000 people is fucking crazy. But I really think that they were waiting for Sukuna to die or just go away, or 100% be like not reincarnated or anything like that before they actually dropped in. Now, eventually they say that the Sumerians are refugees and they're just kind of looking to see if they're able to cohabitate with Earth. But I don't know. I feel like there's something else going on. We already got to talk about, why do the Sumerians look like Sukuna? It's theory time. Everybody get your tinfoil hats. Hold on. All right. Theory time. I think that Kenjaku had something to do with Sukuna's birth. Now, we know that Sukuna had a human mother. That we know, right? He talked about being in the womb. He talked about eating his brother and yada yada yada. We talked about this. But it has been explicitly stated in the very beginning of Jujutsu Kaisen that Kenjaku was known to mess with women's wombs as well as their offspring, right? We know that he had those the cursed wombs, right, aborted from this woman, did terrible, awful things to her, just so he could see what he could do. It would not surprise me if Kenjaku was messing with things that he had no idea what he was doing. And if you notice, in the first couple of pages of this chapter, you have some dude that looks like Tengen, that might be Tengen, that's sitting there crossed up, posed with Cross, Maru's brother. Maru is the good Sumerian. I think he's good, hopefully. So I think that somehow, Tengen's probably an alien, probably. I mean, he looks like a thumb. He doesn't look like all these other like people. Even Sukuna looks like a person. but Tengen's different. It looks like just something like completely otherworldly. That's why we have the star plasma vessels, star plasma vessel space. Oh, it's an alien. Tengen's an alien. Oh shit! I found that in real time. Oh my god. Oh yeah, dude. So what y'all think, chat? I think so, because we know Kenjaku's old, but we know that Sukuna's old as well, 1,000 years ago. So I'm assuming I know for a fact Kenjaku's older than Sukuna. I don't think we've ever gotten confirmation of just how old he is, because we know that Kashimo was like, I want to fight Sukuna. You gotta tell me where he is. Now this new guy. I ain't gonna lie, he got aura. He got hella aura. I love his design. Long earlobes and tiger stripes. I'm with that. I'm with that. As soon as I see some feats, as soon as I see some personality, as soon as I see something that move me, man, I'm with that. I'm trying to see something. So shake some. Come on, gang, come on. But the main characters for Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo are 3 characters. You have Yuka Okkotsu, Tsurugi Okkotsu, as well as Maru. Now, Maru is one of the Sumerians, but Yuka and Tsurugi are both the grandchildren of Maki and Yuta. No shit. And we see some very interesting things, and oh my god, yes, Gege. Gege gave me those character interactions I've been begging for, some of that lore, some of these real good bonding moments I've been asking for. You starting off on a good foot already, Gege. I can't hold you. I can't hold you. Some might call me a Gege Glazer. Listen. I've been asking and begging for this for years. I'm getting it, right? We see Yuta in his interactions with his granddaughter, right? It's interesting because both of the grandparents, they drifted off to different children. You have Yuta obviously babying his granddaughter, and then you have Maki babying her grandson. Like he was grandma's boy, and obviously part of this has to do with their being able to have sorcery, and Tsurugi only being able to he's similar to Maki, right? He has a heavenly restriction on his body. Wait, I don't think he has a heavenly restriction. I think he just can't use. No, he has a heavenly restriction. He can't use traditional jujutsu. No, wait. Yeah, he's not completely restricted. I knew it. I knew it was something weird because he can use the Bato sword drawing, which looks badass, by the way. It looks crazy. I do like the new art style. The new art style, it's very reminiscent. If you've read any like 90s manga, or even like Siren, it looks very similar. It's got that vintage feel. It's very clean and sleek. I like it. I like it. It's getting used to. I still prefer Gege's art. I do. I'm sorry, chat. I do. And their legacy kind of looms large when it pertains to Maki and Yuta, especially in the handing down of Yuta's treasured ring. Now, is Rika inside of this thing? I don't think so. As far as Rika herself, the spirit of Rika ascended, went to heaven, but the curse laid with, dude, I'm getting hot. I think, is this actually baking because of the lights? But the actual curse spirit was still around. So is it possible that Rika could still be in the ring? I don't know. I don't think so. That'd be weird to me. I don't know. It's just I feel unless it was Yuta's wish, protect my grandchildren, I could, but I don't know if I would like that. I feel like it's a bit cliche, and that's one thing I appreciate about Gege's writing. It's not as cliche as some people make it out to be. It's very unpredictable. But both Tsurugi as well as Yuka, they both are trying to prove themselves to be worthy of the ring. Tsurugi wants to make sure he's strong enough so that he doesn't need to have that weight build on him to I need this ring, right? But Yuka wants it. That's her grandfather's, and so interesting stuff. I'm very curious to see their dynamic evolve and change over the course of the series. It's traditional, sister-brother relationship, but I'm very curious to see just how well they will lean on each other and how they will complement each other's strengths and things of that nature. We'll see. And then we have Marulu Val Vol Yvolri, or Maru, who's a Sumerian agent, and he's made to make contact with the Japanese Jujutsu Society and help investigate curses. And then we have Usami. Usami is, if you remember, there's that guy from the volume extra that had a thing with Mei and all the other grade ones don't like him. He's his child or I believe it's his grandson, but it's probably his child because of how old he is. But he's he's basically their Ichi, he's their higher up guy that they report to and all that. And something interesting is the fact that seemingly Yuka and Tsurugi's mother is still caught up in this whole clan passing down nonsense that Maki went through. This whole thing, she killed her entire clan. Also, her grandchildren know about it. It was never a secret. But the clan, this dynamic is still off, right? And specifically with the Gojo clan that Yuta ended up taking over. It does kind of suck because I was really hoping that all that would be abolished and all that, but I guess it would be realistic for systems that intense and that ingrained in Jujutsu society at large. It would take a very, very long time to dismiss. So it makes sense. I get it. It sucks that I'm hoping that that's their stepchild and not their children, but I don't know. It does suck that someone that they are related to has to still do with this whole legacy and clan nonsense business instead of, just a regular traditional family. But when we go through this first chapter, we have citizens being abducted and used as energy sources. And so we see children being abducted as well. And the chapter ends with Yuka, Tsurugi, and Maru together to work on these Kyoto abduction cases. Now, Maru is cute. Maru is very bubbly. He's nice. And there's nothing really too crazy about him, but we know that he has a brother. Now, the brother was spotted in the first page of the manga talking to the guy with the long earlobes, the Sumerian leader. Now, a lot of people, especially myself, they thought that was Maru, but no, they're twins. His name is Cross. Now, they have a contentious relationship. They don't really like Maru wants to get along with his brother, and Cross is just all about business. He's very strict. He's like almost kind of like a Sasuke-like personality, right? But Maru wants to, get along with his brother. He loves him. And so when he sees Yuka and Tsurugi fight, he's like, no, he's like, you two love each other. Like you can't do this. Like if one of you were to die, like you would be devastated. So he's like, don't take your relationship for granted with your siblings. So I like Maru. Nothing too crazy, nothing too insane to comment on just yet, besides the very end of the chapter where you have Maru with the pineal gland. I need a Hotep edit of that. I might make that a Hotep edit of Maru with the Kofi hat opening his third eye. But I do like the art here, man. I do like the art. The art's very nice. It's interesting because society, when it comes to Jujutsu Sorcerers, has gotten so weak and lame after Gojo with Sukuna died. And it's crazy because, hard times create strong people, but, peaceful times create weak men. And you hear that thrown around, but, I mean, it's kind of true, right? Like, people will talk about, like, their modern day struggles and all this stuff. You go to like the night teach place of the Great Depression, you put into perspective, bro, you realize the craziness people had to do for a loaf of bread. I'm talking about going to the factories, all that bullshit that your great grandparents talk about. Yeah, bro, it's bad. So like, yes, we have many luxuries afforded to us, and thank God we do. But obviously some people in the world still don't have that, which is unfortunate. I hope that changes in my lifetime. But these new Jujutsu Sorcerers, they ain't it, bro. They ain't it. They don't even let people go on solo missions anymore. Like, Megumi was just raw dogging it. Like, bro, if he had to fight Sukuna before Gojo showed up, he would have got clipped. Like, it would have been on Kick. That shit would have been on Kick. It would have been on TikTok. He would have been on Reddit. He would have been just his body jars just. Pff. And I don't even participate in making me slander like that, but that's how crazy it was, bro. Back in the day, we sent our teenagers to die. But eventually they end up finding one of these child traffickers, and they show off some of their abilities. Yuka has some of this like cool martial arts, lightning stuff. It's cool, right? Nothing too crazy as far as fights and choreography so far, because obviously we're starting at square one. And this is something I really, really, really appreciate, is that we are so far forward in the future. I kind of don't want to see the younger cast members. Like, bro, the problem with Boruto, and I've talked about it, is the fact that it was too close to the original series. All the original cast members are still alive. So when things happen in Boruto, we're like, why don't Naruto and Sasuke handle it? Why don't all the adults handle it? Why do the kids have to do it? Right? Avatar and Korra did this properly. They didn't kill them off, but it was so far set in the future. We did not have this legacy constantly looking down on us. People were not constantly comparing. They compared Korra, but I'm saying like Tengen. Unfortunately, none of Sokka's children, which sucks. I don't know why Sokka didn't have any kids. That's awful. But even like Iroh, Zuko's grandchild and all this, like bro, just when you have it so close, it's so easy to compare and be like, well, back in my day, they did this new generation chucks, or the author tries to over-escalate and they're trying to like, oh no, this is way worse than what happened years ago, like everybody's a Kaguya level threat. Oh, nah. I'm not saying everybody in Boruto is a Kaguya level threat. I know some stuff about Boruto, but I don't. But yes, eventually at the end of the first chapter, we have Maru revealing himself as an alien. And so when we go into chapter 2, we have the Sumerian delegation making first formal contact with Japan's Jujutsu and governmental bodies. And there's this tension, there's concern about safety, disease, etc., like languages and all this. And Usami is taking this more measured, like diplomatic stance. He's trying to treat the Sumerians as refugees, or at least a race that's to be approached with care. And while other people, understandably, are more cautious, they're more fearful. They're like, we don't know these people's intentions, we don't know what happened on their home planet, what circumstance drove them out of there while they're floating along in space. So maybe it doesn't have to be hostile. But if I see a nigga as tall as Broly with like tiger stripes and earlobes that long, yeah, I'm not rocking with it, Chief. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And eventually the Okkotsu siblings are officially assigned to work with Maru to investigate their true intentions. And eventually we see that the Sumerian mothership is hidden above Earth, carrying 50,000 individuals, and we know that barrier techniques and secrecy are involved somewhat. So this moves the plot beyond just arrival to how humans respond via politics, fear, expectation. This is kind of taking a step further than like your traditional War of the Worlds, like aliens are here, oh my god! It's kind of like everything like that would surround that, kind of like a District 9 type of thing. And then chapter 3, so chapter 3 is interesting because a lot of people feel like it's a filler chapter, but I think it serves its purpose. We have Yuka, I keep on saying Saguri. We have Yuka, Tsurugi, and Maru dispatched to deal with a man-eating shark who Gege has to have brain rot, because I don't know if y'all seen that image of that great white shark like floating in a forest. I have a couple images saved on my phone of that. Like it's just a dumb like nightmare image or something like that, but it's funny. But we have that, who apparently this great white shark is actually a person who can he's kind of like Ino in that he can have the attributes of whatever he like dresses up as. So if he dresses up as a shark, he has like the nose of a shark. He can smell blood. It's just ridiculous. I'm sure if he like dressed up as a bird, he could fly. It's just nonsense. But they're looking for this tiger. And actually, we remarked that cursed spirits only seem to appear in Tokyo, so this case is unusual. Now, as far as cursed spirits only showing up in Tokyo, I believe it was outright said that sorcerers show up in other places besides Japan. Obviously, that's how you have Miguel. But cursed spirits only appearing in Tokyo, I don't know how I like that. The world feels kind of smaller. I like the prospect that there's other sorcerers and all that out there that are just as dangerous. Part of the reason why something like Chainsaw Man, where you have like the gun devil, which would be just like absolutely horrifying in some parts of the world, not as terrifying as some of the other parts of the world, like certain diseases, all that, like that's interesting. So as far as cursed spirits only showing up in Tokyo, I just I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. But then we have Tsurugi and Maru going on this case, and Tsurugi is kind of wondering are the aliens behind this attack? And they're like, oh, coincidentally, we got announced that aliens are here. Oh, so what? You're telling me that this isn't you guys? And this chapter is basically about trying to bond their relationship and make them, kind of trust each other. And we have the tiger, who was the result of inbreeding years and years and years and years ago. They unfortunately have to kill this tiger. And this tiger was very attached to the guy dressed up in the shark costume. He was like, oh man, he's like, one day you'll be all alone, but it's okay because you got me. And you have some parallels with Yuji and Sukuna's final words, where Yuji is talking to Sukuna. He's like, if all else fails, I'll still live with you even at the end, no matter how dangerous you are. So I see the comparison. Was that my first thought? No, that was not my first thought. But I think there's something to be said there. But Tsurugi has to kill this tiger, and we find out that this tiger had a cub. So the guy with the shark costume, he has a chance to try again and actually, keep it under control. And so Tsurugi and Maru, they end up becoming friends. They end up becoming friendly with each other, and we see their relationship kind of begin to deepen a little bit. So there's some things to talk about. So we have the time skip in the world building. So the universe has advanced about 68 years beyond our original characters. So Yuta and Maki have passed. About Yuji, I don't know. It would not be out of the realm of possibility that Yuji would age slower, but I would love to see old man Yuji, right? Old man Yuji would be so fire to see. But I don't know if Yuji necessarily would be down to kind of spearhead anything. I feel like Yuji would kind of want to just live a normal life eventually that his grandfather would want him to live. Now, obviously, if people are in immediate danger and trouble, oh, of course he would step in. Absolutely. That's just the kind of person that he is, right? But I don't know. I mean, with his physiology, it would totally make sense if he were to age slower. 100%. Choso and them are, I don't even know how old they are, but they were like fetuses in tubes. So it makes sense. About other characters' children, I don't know. I don't know if we'll see Megumi's children. I don't know if we'll see Nobara's children. I don't know. I hope we don't get too much of that, because I feel like a lot of people will just constantly draw comparisons to them, and it's gonna happen on some point. They're gonna do it with the main villain of this anyway, but I want to get attached to everybody else before we jump into the cast that we knew. A lot of people were saying, oh, where's Hikari's kids? But I'm like, do you really care about Hikari? Like, Hikaruma's kids? No, you don't. But there's a change in society. People generally are weaker, so we need to see how they will rise to the occasion, how they will rise to this threat. Honestly, it's crazy if you think that if Gojo wasn't born when Sukuna was resurrected, we wouldn't have shit. Like, we would die, because, like, everybody had to level up because Gojo was born. And because Gojo was born, everybody had to level up, and they were a little more prepared for when Sukuna came back, right? With the Killing Games and taking him down and all this, right? So, because our heroes went through that strife, because everybody else raised the bar, they were more prepared. Does that make sense to you? So now, if they encounter a threat like that, they're not as prepared. Like, where are the super strong sorcerers? Don't know. They haven't had to deal with anything super crazy. They're just dealing with grade 2 and 3 curses all day. So, I don't know. So there's a central theme of refugee status, misunderstanding, and how people treat outsiders with the Sumerians. We see that they aren't just your stereotypical bring us to your leader, but they're actual, like, people. They actually have their own feelings. Maru wants to have breakfast with his brother. Like, they're just like us, but just with some key differences. What the differences are, we don't exactly know. But obviously, Gege tackling this fear, prejudice, and diplomacy, I like this. I'm very curious to see how far he goes with it, especially just everything going on now with ice and all this. It's very topical, very topical. Damn, you can't talk about politics on your channel. You must not be watching me for a long time. And then we obviously have legacy. Now, the Okkotsu siblings are defined by their lineage, Yuta and Maki, and the fight between the siblings is to reclaim their own sense of honor, right? Yuka wants to be like, hey, I'm strong enough to have this, and Tsurugi is like, I'm strong enough, I want to be strong enough so where I don't need it, so where I don't feel like I'm a bird. I will say that this is a bit slower, but as far as the pacing goes, Gege, generally speaking, will go very, 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 very fast, so I don't mind a bit of a slower start. I don't set that groundwork, lay the groundwork, right? Light me some candles, like buy me dinner, run me a bath or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? Like, get me situated before you just give it to me. You know what I'm talking about, Jake? You know what I'm talking about? It always gets so fucking sexual whenever I talk about Gege's works, dude. So I don't think we'll go into a whole, like, monster of the week type beat, but I'm really hoping that we get to see, like, the bigger scope eventually. Why the aliens can use Jujutsu? Because as far as Jujutsu goes, this has been a thing on Earth for millions and millions and millions of years. I think it probably went beyond Tengen as well. I don't think Tengen had everything to do with curse energy. I don't think so. So as far as the aliens go, I think it's just a centralized system that they can use. Maybe, probably like Key and Dragon Ball, I would imagine, but I don't know. We'll see. Aliens, when I heard that Modulo was about aliens, I was a bit nervous. I was a bit skeptical. I was like, I don't know about that. So I don't know. We will see. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. Are you guys enjoying it? Do you hate it? Do you like it slow start? Do you not like a slow start? That's the same thing. I said the same thing twice. Let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, it's my boy Daffy, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this video. Please make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Y'all make sure you take care of yourselves, guys, and have a damn good one. Peace.